Okay, welcome. So you know you have Southern ancestry, but who are you? Genetically, who are you? So you take a DNA test and it comes back, let's say, 70% English, Wales, Northwestern Europe, and 30% Irish and Scots. And the different DNA tests will give you different labels. You may be more Irish, they may combine Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Some of them do. But are you English or are you Scottish? Should you get it killed and wear it around? What are you? You live in the United States. You may not still live in the South. There's a diaspora of people who originally came from the South. But let's say you trace back your relatives and the people who are the settlers that come over to the United States come over at a time period between the first part, or let's say the mid to early 1600s, all the way to the Revolutionary War, 1776, and they come in through the southern colonies. Well, let's look at it. Who are you? Ethnically, who are you? So let's to start off with the ethnicity. Let's say, who are you genetically? Who do you genetically resemble? Well, I want to say there are two distinct waves of migration that come over that form the southern ethnicity. Okay? And these two migrations are the first being indentured servants that came over in the southern royal colonies. These colonies were given to cavaliers, English cavaliers, by the crown. And the people that, this is before African chattel slavery really took over. And the people they needed to work these plantations, they got from the borders. You're going to hear me say this over. What is Southern ethnicity? You're a cracker, you're a redneck, you're a hillbilly. Well, who you are, you're border people. And you come from two distinctive border migrations. With the first being coming into the early 1600s up until the mid 1700s. Everything's a little fuzzy. There's no distinct barrier lines, but I'm going to draw a circle around this picture. Not the world's greatest circle, but there you go. And this region here in the Bristol Channel, you're going to see is going to be 3/4 of the migrations to the colonies. A quarter of being English cavaliers to the southern colonies, the rest being up 3/4 of indentured servant young men from the English, from Devon, from around the Bristol Channel, from South Wales, from the English Welsh border. So, looking at this map, what does this map show? This map is of a survey taken of DNA from England. I believe the survey was called "The People of the British Isles." They asked people who had four grandparents that came from the same area to take a DNA test, and this is what shows up: DNA colonies, DNA tribes, if you will, that resemble old kingdoms and old boundaries that are distinct from each other. And this is really neat because this is going to be how we're going to identify what is a southern ethnic genetic makeup. Okay? And for the majority of southerners, a very small portion of southerners are descendants of the English cavaliers. The English cavaliers did not breed in with this group of indentured servants for political reasons. They needed to, yeah, sure, the English cavaliers were the drivers of culture because they had the power. They had they were aristocratic. They had the means, the funds, that really drove the culture politically. But socially, boy, the people that made up the majority of the South came came from these regions here. And you'll see how Devon is distinct from Eastern England, and how a genetic marker here on the Welsh borders, the purple marker. So you got the light blue Devon, the purple Welsh borders mixing with some West Country English there. Okay, well, this is going to be the first migration to come over to the south. Okay, and I'm talking about the south. These guys over here, okay, these guys over here are what make up principally the Yankee culture from East Anglia. These were the Puritans that come over and they found the colonies in New England. The culture was really different from the colonies in Virginia. More aristocratic, Whiggish. When I'm saying this, I'm saying the people who were governors, the William Barclays and whatnot. These, not the people that made up the labor force. Then something starts happening. You have another group of people that come from here. George. Most of these people are going to make up the Quakers that are going to go into Pennsylvania. Then the last migration that comes, and these are the two migrations that make up the southern ethnicity. Draw it here. More border people. This time from the Northern English, Southern Scots, Lowland Scots, and Northern Ireland. And they were taken from here in the English borders and sent to plantations there in Northern Ireland. We know this. And then from there and from both regions, they came over in droves in the 1700s up until the Civil War. And so what happens is these English Cavaliers find it a lot easier, instead of working with the indentured servants, which now they serve their indentured, these young men who have worked, and now you owe them. You owe them 50 acres of land. This was on the headright system. Well, boy, that really hits your coffers pretty hard. So what do? They get Africans and put Africans on their farm. And now Africans is not indentured servitude, it's now property. Those are their property. They take the place of the poor rural English and Welsh that did work on these farms, and they're moved to the backcountry, and now they're starting to meld with this new group that's coming over in droves, and this is the Scots Irish, which is a misnomer that's used. I mean, we use it today; it works good here, but that was used really to separate from the around the Civil War the Irish Catholic that's come into the north. These Scots Irish were Protestant Lowland Scots, not Highlands, and from Northern Ireland. And so, and these are English speaking people. So these are not Gaelic speaking people that come over. They're English speaking people. They come here to the southern colonies with their own folkways, and they start merging in this forge in the backcountry, away from now the plantations, which are run, labor force is African, and the governance is Cavalier English aristocracy. And here in the backcountry, these people live on small farms, 80 acres or whatnot, and so these two cultures merge. The border folk that are kind of misfits in their home countries, that have left, uprooted, try to give themselves a shot in this new world, and they form what is the new southern ethnicity. And this is what it's meant to be southern. These are the rednecks. These are the hillbillies and the crackers that now are terms used for derision. But hey, you are a distinct ethnicity now. These are your people. And so when your kids ask, well, who are we? Well, we're border people. We come from the borders of Britain, and that's who we are. We came here and we forged our ethnicity, and we're going to explore this more in this channel. That's who we are. We'll talk. There's going to be a smattering of Germans, French Huguenot, Moravians that hold similar religious belief. But this video is not dedicated to religion, religious folkways, musical folkways. We'll explore that later, different cultural folkways. This is what is your genetic makeup. So when you get your DNA test back, what is that telling you? I mean, well, this is who you are. Find out about these people. You can find out there's regions in Great Britain. These people had distinct cultures, and we'll explore each individual a little more in the future to kind of find out what cultures did they bring over for us that we took. What cultures did we disregard? But this is who we are, okay? And this is what we're starting off with. And the southern colonies were the forge that forged the new ethnicity of what it meant to be Southern. Thank you.